So hello and welcome to this last day of a beginner's course for yoga. Today we're going to concentrate on doing some sitting poses. Now I very often see classes miss out seated poses, and to me they are the very foundation of yoga, which is about sitting comfortably. So we're just going to go straight into some of those seated poses now. So if you like, just find yourself a comfortable cross-legged position. We'll just do a little warming up of the spine. Maybe you just want to rock yourself from side to side a little. Hello, cats. Yeah, I want to go through a door. Maybe you just want to rock yourself from side to side for a while. Maybe you just want to stretch up one leg. Maybe you just want to stretch up one arm, stretch up the other arm. Do whatever is feeling right for you. A twist. Maybe another twist to the other side. And if you can feel your neck loosening. Looking up, looking down. Feel the spine loosening. Now just a very quick warm up. So now maybe you want to come into Malasana. Now I understand this is a bit difficult for some people who cannot get their heels down to the ground. Now I cannot get my heels down to the ground in Skandasana, and we're going to be trying that today as well. So got a couple of blocks here. I've got to admit, I quite like these cat ravaged thin wedge blocks. Some of these are very useful to have. The cats had a real good go on those. Excuse me for that. So what you can do is, if you're having difficulty putting your heels down, you can get a blanket, or you can get that's tricky. You can get a blanket, or you can get blocks. Prop up your heels, find your support. You can always keep your hands down. But I want to work on my ankle flexibility, which I find difficult in Skandasana. So I'm going to put those aside, and I'm going to start by maybe stretching out the ankles in Malasana. So if you want to stay still, maybe you want to just bring your hands up to your chest. Maybe you want to just squat on the ground. Maybe find a squat that doesn't work you too much, but is quite comfortable in all aspects. Stretching out one leg, stretching out the other. And then slowly bringing yourself further down. Maybe finding a block to sit on. Maybe putting a block under the heels. So we're just going to come into a comfortable Malasana. And find concentrated awareness of the air in our lungs. Concentrated awareness of the practice of breathing, which we do every single day. Very few times do we actually take notice of what we're doing. Now I'm just going to start a little bit of twisting just to wake up the hips. And maybe you want to bring one knee down, bring the other knee down. Again, this is easier if you're sat on block. It's up to you and your flexibility. It's your body, and it tells you what it does and does not want to do. So now, maybe you want to come forward, remove the block if you've been sitting on one. And maybe we'll just come into downward dog, just to wake up the hips and the body. Maybe do a little bit of a walking the dog. Start to bring a bit of warmth to the rest of the rib cage, the shoulders. A little bit of twisting. Maybe you want to come down to child pose. Feet together, knees apart. Come down onto our chest, onto our foreheads. And then gently push up to a seated position. Coming back to Malasana, taking the feet wider sometimes helps to get the heels to the ground. And this time we're just gently going to introduce a little gentle twist to each side of the body. Hand in the centre, peel up the arm and twist around to the other side. Okay, and now we're gently going to widen the stance. Start to bring a little movement into it. And I'm just going to try and work on my Skandasana. So maybe you can do Skandasana. I think the art is to take the hips wide. Have a lot of flexibility in the ankles. So just walk over from one side of the squat to the other. Just a more dynamic way of working on the legs and on our seated postures. We'll come up, wide squat, deep squat. Just going to work into a goddess pose. Trying to take the knees back, not let the knees sink forwards. Maybe put your hands on your knees, on your thighs. Just rest your hands by your heart. And again, from this goddess pose, I feel I want to start taking that movement into my hips. It's not going too far, but introducing a stretch that my body's not used to be honest. It's not often that we sit in this position, so it's building a body awareness. That's good. Then I'm going to come round, tuck one leg and come into a seated position. Again, we've got blocks here. You may want to sit on a block. If you just sit your hip bones on the edge of that block, just under your knicker line there. And that just lifts you up, straightens your spine a little. So that's an option too. If you find that your knees are tense, you may want to just lift your knees up and support them with a block. But again, to begin with, I'm going to focus on Dandasana. Pulling the toes in, pushing into the heels, straightening the spine, neck long, chin slightly tucked. Knees soft, but quads active. Don't lock into the knees. Don't make them so loose that you're not activating your leg muscles. So happy medium. You find your own. Now, if you want to take the inside of the right leg, pick it up, walk it into the body, find a comfortable place to bring it into the thigh. Again, if you want, you can support this leg, feeling a little stiff, and support it with a block. Lift and raise your hands up, stretch up your spine, lengthen your spine, and then fold from the hips. And find a comfortable position, either hooking finger around the big toe, or maybe resting your hands on your shins. But the idea is to look up, lengthen the spine, exhale, fold. Now, I like seated poses because they quieten the mind. And that's why sometimes it's just better to be left with the breath. And let the breath guide you. The thing to remember is always, it's not about crunching and lowering, it's about lengthening on an inhale. And as you exhale, releasing the stress. So good, look ahead, lengthen the spine, come back up, come back into Dandasana. Again, do that on the other side. Take your hand inside the knee, lift the leg up externally, rotate it, maybe support the knee with a block. Keep this foot upright, keep the spine straight, keep the quads active, keep the knees soft. Inhale, lengthen, reach up, really point to the sky. Exhale, fold forward from the hips, lengthening the spine, keeping this foot active, keeping this foot flat as if it's on the floor, not allowing it to twist out to the side. Lengthening and lowering. Find this time to breathe deeply. It's a lovely stretch for the back. Breathe all the way into the back of your lungs. With each exhale, just find yourself getting closer to your knee. It's best to keep your eyes open, that you're aware of your body. And see if you can gently kiss your own knee. Then come back up, place the hands down by the ground, come back into Dandasana. I don't kiss my own knees that often. Not often enough, if you ask me. Anyway, so now we're going to take, we always start with the right leg. So we're going to take the right leg, take it around to the side. This is because this is the way the circulation works. We pump towards the heart, we pump away from the heart. So we start pumping towards the heart. So inhale, take the knee to the side, foot by hip. If this is uncomfortable, just lift yourself up on blocks a little. And we're going to, again, lengthen and fold. Now this one's a lovely, interesting stretch on the outer hips. It's a very unusual position. The first time you try it, you will wonder what you are doing. The thing is to keep your knees close, not to take your knees apart. Keep pressing the thighs together, lengthening the spine. Enjoying that stretch on the lower back. And then inhale, lift. Take the leg around. Come back into Dandasana, supported straight spine. And again, fold the leg out to the side. Tuck the foot comfortably by the hip. Keep this leg up and active. Inhale, stretch, and exhale, fold forward. Hook your finger around the toe and relax. This pain is good. It's this releasing of all the tension that you hold in these muscles in your hips and your buttocks. it's actually really good to activate areas that we just tend to store fat and store emotions in, and very rarely do we tweak them. So when you're ready, inhale, come back up to center and take the feet forward, come back to Dandasana. Now this time we're going to try and come into a half lotus. The thing is, to keep your foot flexed is going to put less pressure on the ankle. So if you keep your ankles strong, you're not going to be doing this and causing problems in your ankles. So if in doubt, flex the foot and keep the knee soft. Don't let the knee go too far that it hurts. Again, it's good to place a block under the knee just to support the whole pelvis here, whichever way it will stay. Mine's staying on its edge. So again, lift up, straighten the spine. You can really push into the hands here. Before you fold forward, reach for the toe. Look ahead, lengthen the spine, and then fold and release into the posture. Keeping eyes open. Focuses on the knee or just beside the knee. Keeping the torso even over the outstretched leg. And gently, slowly, allowing your shoulders to release until you start to head towards the knee, lengthening or lowering. Then look ahead, lengthen the spine. Inhale, come back up and let that leg slide back down into Dandasana. Come back to a strong seated position. Again, take the block to the other side if you need it. Tuck your hand under the knee, bring the knee externally, rotate it, bring it into the body. Then if you can, lift it onto above the knee or at the top of the thigh. Keep a focus on the outstretching of the foot, support the block, support your knee with the block if need be. Make sure this leg is upright and active. Inhale, strengthen, lengthen and strengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, release. Take this time to breathe deeply. Concentrating on the breath is the focus of all yoga. Feel the way the breath moves through your body. How your body naturally lengthens and naturally releases forward. And then inhale, lengthen, come back up, and then slowly slide that leg back down to a comfortable Dandasana position. Very good. Now we're going to do forward folds. So if you want, you could have a block underneath your feet, and that is going to keep your feet in a beautiful alignment so your toes are perfect. And this is a lovely way of doing a forward fold. You tend to tense our toes up in uneven ways and not really exercise our toes. So that is a lovely way, but obviously you need to have the reach to get to the block. Another way is to put a belt around your feet and hold on to a belt. or just put your hands on your shins. So instead of straining to reach your feet, I want you to keep your back straight, which is more important. So we're going to reach for our toes, reaching up, straightening, lengthening the spine, folding forward, head up, looking forward, reach for the toes. Now try and lengthen the spine from the bottom of the spine, and then slowly start to relax, keeping the neck long, keeping the shoulders relaxed, keeping the focus between the knees, keeping the quads active. And this is the Raj pose, if you ask me. This is the king pose. I really think you should keep this pose as long as you can. I think you should do this pose often. Just to activate the legs, straighten the legs, it straightens the toes. It's wonderful. When you're ready, inhale, look at your toes. Come back up. Put your hands down by your side. And then relax. So these are the basic seating postures. We can add a few more to this. It's good to add twists to this. So I think we'll add a couple of twists. So inhale, lift one leg up into your chest. Hug your knee with your hands. Take your left arm, wrap it around the leg and twist over to the right. Try not to lean back too far, keeping the back active, upright, and then moving the upper back, the shoulders, and then the head. Come back to centre. Again, repeat on the other side. Bring the knee into the body. Take hold with the right arm. Hug the knee into the chest. Reach up, stretch up, and then gently turning from the top, pat the spine, shoulders, the neck. And come back to centre. Now again, we can do this pose with a bind. So we're going to bring the leg into the body, place the left hand behind us, reach up, stretch over that leg, creating space in the ribs, reach down and tuck the knee into the armpit, try and stretch around, starting this bind. So if we can now, we can use a belt, or we can reach all the way out, stretch, tuck the knee into the leg, then start to bend the hand, bring it back round, and see if we can reach it with the other hand. If we've got this position, look forward to the foot, and then slowly bring the head down towards the knee. Inhale, look up, release the bind, and bring the legs back down. Again, left hand side, take the foot into the body, place supporting hand behind you, lift up your left arm, reaching for the sky, creating space in the ribs, in the chest. Exhale, fold forward, and now we're starting to take that knee in towards the armpits, past the armpit. Reach forward, start to twist, stretch into the fingers and start to wrap the arm around, tuck it in, and then take hold of it with the other hand and complete the twist. Then look forward, check your leg is straight, foot upright, and then fold down towards your knee. And this is good for activating the muscles in the stomach. There's a bind on the stomach there, activating our Uddiyana Bandha. And then release the bind, let go of your hands, and come back up. So, I think the posture that most people want to do is a lotus. So we'll just look at lotus a little while now. Do not attempt this if you do not feel your knees are happy. If you find it uncomfortable sitting cross-legged, do not go any further than just a comfortable cross-legged posture. Now, if you're comfortable with this, you get your knees flat, because it's quite often about getting your knees down towards the ground, because then you have the flexibility to pick the feet up. So if you're comfortable, you find your knees are quite flat to the ground, what you can do is begin by placing a foot on this lower part of the leg here in a comfortable half lotus. Once you get there, if it's comfortable enough, just straighten up your spine. Again, you want to take that foot down, try it on the other side. Very good to work evenly, although there's always one side that's going to be easier than the other. So again, if you're comfortable this way, maybe you just want to lift that foot onto the lower leg. Using that propulsion to bring up your spine, lengthen the lower back. Sit up tall. Okay, so releasing that. Now, if you found that easy enough, perhaps you want to work to bringing the foot a bit further up onto the leg. Now, I find it's better just to adjust and move into the position and try and move the leg. It's rather easier to move the buttocks towards the right position there. If you can, you may want to tuck it onto the top thigh. Again, if you are finding a lot of strain on your ankle here, keeping some tension in the foot, keeping that foot flexed is going to stop you overstraining this foot, this ankle joint, which is very, very delicate. Again, wiggle until that is where you are at, not moving the leg until the leg is where you want it to be, rather. Again, can you sit up tall? Can you sit up straight? Okay, so release and see how you feel on the other side. Change the interlock of your leg. Move it into the body. Can you take it here? Can you take it higher? Again, I'm going to lift it up, then I'm going to move my leg to adjust my body posture. Again, can you lift it right into the joint of your leg? And then it's about bringing this knee down. Sit up straight, sit up bold. This is a half lotus. When you find this is comfortable enough, then you can move on to the next stage, which is to take this foot out and lift it up onto the top thigh. Now, my body's saying sit here for 20 minutes before you even attempt to do that. I'm a little out of practice. I'm not saying that either, I'm a Mungo. Mungo's saying edit that, just shit. So anyway, once you find a comfortable half lotus, then the idea is to just get used to sitting in this posture and sit on the floor more. basically. Your body feels strange doing anything for the first time. Once you've been sitting for a while, then your body's going to get used to it. The idea is to keep stretching up, keep the knees down, and learn to sit tall, fully supported by a very tight locked position. So anyway, there's a brief demonstration. Always watch out for your ankles, always take your ankles out easily, give them a bit of stretch afterwards. So now, just going to do a quick Savasana. Just bring yourself down on your back, support your spine, release all the tension into the ground. Maybe open your eyes, take a deep stretch. Or stretch out the body. Roll over onto one side. And come into a comfortable seated position. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale. Close your eyes, take your head down. Bring your hands to Namaste. Take a deep breath. Exhale. If you want to join with me, we will say Om. Inhale. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale. Exhale, bring your head down. Inhale, open your eyes and come back to the room. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this week, and namaste.